Hello and welcome to Oracle Insight, everyone. Thank you for deciding to be here with me today. So today's reading, we are looking at a interpretation of how the full moon in Cancer, which is happening on the 6th or 7th of January, depending on where you are in the world, how these energies are going to show up for you personally. And how we're looking at that or determining that is through the astrological birth chart and the house within which this full moon in Cancer is going to be occurring for you personally. So in order to be able to determine that, you will need to know where the sign of Cancer is within your birth chart. There are lots of resources online for you to discover where that would be if you don't already know that right now. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the full moon in Cancer, we are talking about very heightened emotions. The moon is in its home sign when it is in Cancer. So we are talking about energies that are very harmonious. Well, the moon expresses itself freely in the sign of Cancer as it is its home sign. And so we can expect that there will be heightened emotions. This card here indicates that a personal issue reaches resolution. So there's that energy of things coming to fruition. Those energies will express itself in a particular area of your life depending upon which house that this full moon occurs within. And so let's start with the first house. Let's put this card here to indicate we are looking at the first house. Now, the first house is very much about the way you present yourself to others and your reflection to the world. It is about your physical form as well, as it would say and indicate there, the body. So let's see how this might particularly express for you. We'll pull some more astrology cards. That one came out. Part of fortune increase. Right. Let's get another one. And this one is earth, element, and stability. Okay, so just by looking at those cards, it looks to me like there is some kind of improvement with regards to how you are presenting yourself. Now, with the Seven of Cups there, that's showing me that you are feeling like you've got options. Now, it may be that with that Two of Swords, you have been feeling a little confused, a little uncertain about something. And given that it is the first house, you might be wanting to have a clearer understanding of, let's take this one, clearer understanding of your sense of self even. And with the King of Cups here showing up, that's showing me that you do have a very good hold of your emotions, and I think that's going to be very beneficial for you within this full moon in Cancer, because this is a very emotional expression of these energies. And given that this is showing that you do have your wits about you in the emotional sense, you are very stable and steady, you're very emotionally mature when it comes to how you have grown and developed. And so I see here that you've had this experience of healing even. And through this and how it expresses and the way you feel about yourself, you are showing up in a different manner. You've got options here. You're looking, or you're considering options about how you want to move forward. You do have a sense of fortuitousness about you. You're feeling very positive with this part of fortune and increase, and you do have a sense of stability with the Three of Pentacles here. This is about a grounded sense of collaboration. You could be considering entering or moving out into the world in a way that supports you in showing up for yourself with others, in amongst others. It's showing me here that whatever confusions you may have had previously, this full moon in Cancer is definitely going to give you a sense of resolution. Like it says here, personal issue reaches resolution. You're going to find that you are feeling a sense of calm with the King of Cups, and the choices that you may have been confused about previously, these options that are presenting themselves to you, you'll be able to be selective, be informed in your selection of what it is you would like to develop and grow as you move forward. And it looks to me like this toing and froing, because you may have been toing and froing, of course, with the Two of Swords here, and even with the Temperance, this is kind of, it's actually giving me this a very similar energy to the Two of Swords, but this is really showing that it's you moving past this. You're entering into a feeling of more balance, more that you have been able to neutralize the uncertainties, and now you're moving forward with more calm, understanding, more awareness, I think, with regards to how you are feeling emotionally and how you want to now show up in the world and collaborate with others. So I think that is a really beautiful expression of those energies for you. Full moon in Cancer showing up in your first house. So why don't we go ahead, I'm going to just select an oracle card for you. This can be Spirit's advice moving forward, and let's see what shows up here. Oh, embrace Spirit. Well, isn't that perfect? So there you go. That is showing me that you do have, with the Temperance here, you have a sense of connection. You're feeling very emotionally whole, complete, and that is allowing you to show up in a way that is going to be very supportive in your future collaborations. Moving on from the full moon in Cancer, you've got earth element there for stability, which just reinforces this. And of course, with Spirit on your side, you are well placed in moving forward. All right, so those of you with the full moon in Cancer happening in your first house, this is your reading. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you next time. Hello and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer occurring in your second house, which is the house of resources. And let's see how this is going to express for you with these energies. Let's choose some more. Oh, Jupiter in abundance. Well, we love that. Excellent. Right. Another card. Let's see what else we've got going on here. And void, of course, moon. Missing. Right. Let's get some tarot cards here. Now, with Jupiter in abundance, that could obviously mean, oh, look, Fool's come out, so that's a new beginning here. That could definitely mean a stream of abundance that's coming in, some kind of project, anything that you've been working on, that you've been developing for yourself. This full moon in Cancer could activate some kind of completion of this, which will bring in some kind of increase in abundance, resources there with Jupiter. Now, void, of course, moon. That typically would mean that the energy is not active. However, let's see what else this is showing us, and then we'll be able to get something more in terms of the interpretation? Well, I can see here with that Four of Swords there under void of course moon, that can be a time of contemplation, a time where things have been more passive as opposed to a lot of action. And you've got the Six of Cups here. So I'm getting a sense of a childhood dream here with the Six of Cups, and something with the Four of Swords and the void of course moon missing. This is telling me that there's something that you have been dreaming about, like a wish of some kind, or a way of experiencing your life that you have had for a very long time. This is something about a childhood dream that you have been holding to, and it hasn't come about. There has not been this manifestation of this, whatever this dream might be for you. But it seems to me here with this new beginning, with the Fool, the timing is now right for this to be brought into your life. I see here with the Queen of Wands that you are showing up in some way that's claiming ownership over something. Oh, that is interesting. I love that. And so with the second house and owning here, this is about you understanding your worth. It's about you being very magnetic to things that are beneficial for you. You're understanding what you want, and you are putting out an energy that allows these things to be brought to you through the Chariot. This is very strong and determined energy here, and I love that the Fool is indicating a new beginning of some sort. So this is really, really wonderful. So I think the full moon in Cancer happening in the second house, and of course with the natural zodiacal order with the second house is connected with Taurus, and the moon is in exaltation within the sign of Taurus. So there's a layer of interpretation there that we can pull in, but I think even as it stands now with what's showing up, it shows that this occurrence of the full moon in Cancer for you is really going to bring about new beginnings in abundance, and it's going to clear away some kind of delay that may have been happening with a dream that you've held to, hope, a intention that you may have set forward from a very long time ago, and now this is really showing it coming to fruition. So I love that for you. Perfect. So let's get one last card, which will be parting guidance from Spirit, and that seems to be the one. Oh, follow the moon. My gosh, love that. Look, full moon in Cancer and follow the moon. Okay, so this is about you being true to your emotions, you being true to your desires. So I think it seems to me that this is really showing you moving forward that there is a awareness here of the cyclical nature of life. I think this is asking you just to be aware that, you know, cycles of life happen, things come, things go, there's an ebb and flow to how things have gone. And even though there may have been an ebbing of something here, now it does show that things are now coming into fruition. This flow of abundance into your experience is your time. It's due. So congratulations. So there you go. That is the reading I have for you. I do hope that this is beneficial for you, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who have full moon in Cancer, which is happening on the 6th and 7th of January, depending on where you are in the world. For those of you who have that occurring in your third house. Third house of messages, third house of communication can indicate neighborhood as well as short distance travel. So let's see how this might express itself for you. Get some more astrology cards. Virgo, I analyze. Right, and one more. Let's see, North Node, life purpose. Beautiful. You may have been feeling a sense of wanting to discover your life purpose. You may have been contemplating for some time the pros and cons of something that you may have been drawn to, that you're thinking about, that feels very much in tune with something that connects to your soul here. Now, with full moon in Cancer with this, there might be this sense of culmination with regards to an acceptance of something, an awareness, what it is that you have been feeling drawn to. There might be a sense of confirmation here that this indeed, whatever it is that you have felt drawn to, is indeed what you should be moving forward with. Now, let's see. You might be receiving some kind of communication, some kind of message with regards to this. So let's see what else we've got here. Okay, 7 of Swords here. So I think you've been in a situation, 7 and 7, 7 of Cups. I think you've been in a situation where you felt like you've been giving a lot of energy away to something that might not be in harmony with what you've been thinking, what you've been feeling. And I definitely see here, oh, how interesting. Look at that. You've got 2 7s coming out and you've got 2 8s. My goodness. Okay. There might be a sense here that, oh, let's see, 3 of Cups. Let's put one more. Wow, 3 7s on the table with 2 8s. Okay. Every time I see you've got 3 7s occurring here, so this is to me about some kind of divine guidance here with those numbers showing up. I get a sense here that you've felt confused about something that you've been applying your attention to. I think you've been working on something, but it's just not satisfied you. And this is really showing that you are wanting to move towards whatever this 8 of Pentacles is for you. I think there's a commitment that you would like to make towards something. And this is showing me that you are not only moving away from this sense of feeling shortchanged in something. That's how I'm seeing this, that you're feeling shortchanged in something that you've applied a lot of mental acuity to, and you are now moving towards something that you feel that you could really come to grips with, really apply your abilities to, apply your hands to a new skill in something. And this is what I'm seeing here. Now, the 7 of Pentacles at the end here is showing me that this is something that is going to take some time, and there is going to be a need for a bit of a patience to be applied when it comes to developing whatever it is that you're wanting to move forward with, that is giving you the sense of real life purpose, a sense of real purpose, some kind of fulfillment here. It is going to take some time, but I do see here that with this 3 of Cups showing here, it's about experiencing joy. It's about releasing the over analytical side of things, and with the 3rd house and its natural zodiacal order, it is naturally the house of Gemini. It is also ruled by Mercury, which is also the ruler of Virgo. So there's a real indication here of maybe analysis paralysis. There is energy that you have really applied the mental body to a lot, and now it's about releasing that, connecting more with the emotions with the 3 of Cups, really making use of this full moon in Cancer energy, which is really tapping in the emotional side of your dreams, connecting to those depths and bringing out that emotional expression, and dreaming very fully about the possibilities with going towards what it is that you are really looking to create here. So I think this full moon is really going to give you the sense of clarity about this, I think. And it's a clarity that's not only something that kind of drops into your mind space, but it drops into that space because you are now connecting more with your emotional body, coming to terms with the fact that there hasn't been much fulfillment with where you have been. You're wanting to build more for yourself, and you're willing to put in the work in building this. It's just a matter of accepting that that's the case and moving forward on it. Okay, so why don't we see what the final message from Spirit will be for you. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, nourish the soul. Oh, perfect. Nourish the soul. This is very much about getting out of your mind space and really connecting with the true values that you have held within yourself. It's showing me here that you might have something that you want to build within, connecting with others with the Three of Cups, finding a community, a local community group, something, or a group of people that you can really build something with. There's this collaboration that I'm seeing here that you want to contribute your part in something. Embrace this sense of fulfillment that this full moon in Cancer is bringing you, and that allows you to connect in a deeper way to a purpose of some sort that you feel very, very much drawn to, that is indeed going to be nourishing your soul. Love that. All right then, so that is the interpretation for the full moon in Cancer happening in the 3rd house. For those of you where that is the case, I do wish you all the best, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 4th house, which is the house of home. It is the house of ancestors. Now, I also see this as a house of you coming home to you, that sense of your true essence, that fundamental kind of soul essence that you have. That's also how I see this 4th house showing up. So why don't we select a card here, see what other energies are in play for you. Oh, moon and soul, that's very deep. And how interesting that so far the readings, some of the cards are really, for each of the readings, they are very much connecting with the natural zodiacal order. And this is no exception, because I can see here that the moon is showing up, and which is with the natural zodiacal order, that is normally in the 4th house, which would be the house of Cancer. And so that is very interesting, that's like a reiteration of these energies here. This looks to me to be a reconnection with your soul essence. Something that is about an understanding with Uranus. That can be unexpected energies, unexpected changes. Hierophant. Yeah, that's very much for me connecting to your higher self, connecting to spirit, maybe even getting some kind of breakthrough. Wow, Magician here. Some kind of breakthrough understanding that for some of you it can be, wow, moon. Look, you've got the moon here, moon, and then of course this reading is to do with the full moon in Cancer. So very deep energies here, very intuitive, spiritual. There's something happening here about you connecting with your higher self. Wow, Fool. The Fool is here as well. You have got major arcana showing up here, 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. So these are really purposeful energies. These are energies that are not just about what's happening on a day-to-day basis. This is something that's really influencing, and look at that Ace of Cups. This is something that's really influencing your life direction. That is incredible energies here. And I can see here with the Ace of Cups, this is really pointing to some kind of connection that is giving you a renewed a renewed sense of emotional harmony. There's something about a cleansing of sorts, a rebirth of sorts even. And it's about coming into your own magical connection with source, with spirit. You with the heart, this is you here in the Hierophant position, and it's really showing that you are connecting the elements here with the Magician, and you're tapping into really deep, very purposeful kind of energies. And it might, for some of you, I honestly see here with this Uranus and Genius, there's some kind of communication that might be present here for you that's really going to connect you more with your soul's purpose. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, that is a very spiritual kind of interpretation of the fourth house energies. Now, if we are looking at more fourth house to do with home, which is another interpretation. This is about renewed energy in the home. It seems to me you've got energies here that support. It could be a marriage here with the Hierophant, but with the cards here are showing more encompassing, expansive energies. This is, like I said, this is not really showing me the day-to-day ins and outs of connections here with others, because there aren't any court cards here showing people. There aren't any of the minor arcana here apart from the Ace of Cups, and that in itself though is an indication of very strong renewal energies with the Fool and the Ace of Cups here. These cards are really showing me some kind of new beginning for you. So if we're going to take it in a very holistic approach, it's new beginnings in terms of your spiritual connection to self. And we can also see that this would be potentially new beginnings in terms of just whatever's happening in your home, a new start. Maybe you've created some kind of move for yourself with regards to a home. You might be having some kind of unexpected move here. That is possible. It's with the moon there that, once again, there's moon. This is very hidden, very unexpected. But all in all, regardless of whether this is spiritual or to do with the House of Four Walls, a new beginning here, love, connection. This is really you coming home to you for certain. Love that. My goodness. I really don't know that we even need any further advice from Spirit, because it seems to me like this is Spirit written all over this reading here. We've just dropped 2 cards. So let's see. Okay, these are what has cards that have dropped, and they are change is unavoidable as well as surrender to the flow. So with the Uranus here in Genius, that does with these cards here, this is showing me that there is some kind of change that is happening, and the best thing you can do to support yourself through this is just to go with the flow, surrender to what is happening, and don't resist. All right, you'll be more empowered that way. All right then, so there we go. That is the reading for you, for those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 4th house. So I do wish you all the best, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 5th house of creativity, of romance, of children. Let's see what energies are showing up for you. Pisces, I believe. Let's see what else we have. Grand Cross and Provoker. All right, so there might be some energies that you're experiencing at cross purposes with this Grand Cross Provoker. It's about, you've got a very condensed, it's like energies coming in from 4 corners, and there is a potential build-up of these energies, and what we need to do here is ensure that those energies are expressed and released in a positive manner. Let's see what the tarot has to show us. And it could be with some kind of creative force that's coming through for you. in which case there is something that needs to be expressed through you in a creative manner. Some kind of, this Seven of Cups has been showing up quite a bit. There's a lot of potential here that seems to be showing up for this full moon in Cancer energy. Eight of Wands. Could be communication, it could be speed of manifestation. Two of Swords here. I think that could potentially speak to that Grand Cross Provoker, where with those energies culminating within you there, it can cause a sense of confusion. Hierophant, but you know where it's at. You've got this connection, especially with this Pisces. I believe it looks to me like you do have a sense of knowing about what should be done, how it should be done, and it's really just about trusting yourself with that and moving forward. And when you do, look at that, the Sun is here, so I love that. Okay, so yeah, look, creative force energy here with the Sun. You've got the Hierophant and the Sun on either side. These are the major arcana energies that are, I feel like these are the framework within which the energies of this reading is held. So either way, there is spiritual support here for you. But I do see here that there is an expression that needs to be released from you. It looks like it's been built up for some time here with the Grand Cross and Provoker. And now it's about tapping into that belief that you do have within you, trusting in your dreams that you've held, directing that flow of energy with the Grand Force Provoker and these energies that are coming from four corners. And now it's directing it in a manner that is orderly, and so you can express those energies in a way that's going to be beneficial. It's going to be creative. There's something here that needs to be expressed, and you need to connect with your source, connect with your higher self. There's some kind of guidance here that's on offer for you to be able to direct those energies in a positive and focused manner, instead of this chaotic energy that is showing up here with the Grand Cross and Provoker here. Because yeah, and that's just because with that Grand Cross Provoker, with this Two of Swords here, it's just energies that are at cross purpose with one another. This is trusting in yourself to be able to direct those energies correctly. I think that's what's showing up here. And with the Sun here as potential outcome, I mean, that's really wonderful. That's all around success. And once again, this symbolism of the natural zodiacal order with some card that actually represents very much, okay, for in this instance, it's the Sun, because in the natural zodiacal order, the fifth house is occupied by Leo, the sign of Leo, and the Sun is the ruler of Leo. So how interesting that that's showing up like this. Fascinating. Okay. All right then. So this is about directing your creative energies in a way that is going to be conducive to creation and not just chaos. So I think you have that belief system in place here. Embrace the feminine. Oh, all right then. Okay. So this is showing me that with the full moon in Cancer, that's really asking you to tap into those feminine energies, those masculine energies that can be very provoking, that can create conflict. This is allowing the balance of the feminine to come through, to have that more, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and allowing those harmonious interactions to kind of funnel that creative energies through. So it's not just about this active, aggressive, forceful action, is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so there you go. That is the reading for those of you who have the full moon in Cancer happening in your fifth house of creativity, romance, and children. I haven't touched on the children or the romance because I don't see that those energies are the ones that are coming through. So for most of you, I do think this is about the creative expression of something, bringing something into form, fulfilling dreams. That's what's coming through here. All right then, so thank you for your time and being here with me, and I do look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer occurring in your 6th house. So as this card indicates, the 6th house is to do with routines, to do with health, as well as work colleagues, and pets too, actually. So let's go ahead and see what kind of energies are expressing or around you at this time. Aries, I am. Okay. And Mars force. All right, so that's a double whammy for Mars, double whammy for Aries, because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So a lot of focused, directed energy, a need for action on something, movement, some kind of initiation of something. Okay, let's have a look at what tarot cards are showing us. King of Swords. Okay, well that's a lot of forceful energy there too. There's a lot of movement forward there. And that's the complete opposite with the Four of Swords and slowing down. Oh, the World. The completion of sorts for something. And movement. Okay, so you've got Mars and Aries, which is fire, and then you've got predominantly swords on the table here. So it looks to me like you've had a lot of energy in your mental processes and something. Now it could be because 6th house is to do with work. It could be that something at work life and daily routines are being quite troubling for you. You're having to deal with energies that are not always very supportive. Getting a sense of being railroaded on something. Now, the Six of Swords does indicate a movement on from this energy. I do feel that this chaotic kind of force here, which is really showing up with the Mars and force, and you've got the Five of Swords showing up under there. This is really showing me that there is a movement towards calmer energies here with the Four of Swords showing up. Less defending of yourself here with the Knight of Swords, because it looks like those energies with the Five of Swords and this forceful nature and the Knight of Swords, the World is showing a completion of something to do with that. I think there's a neutralizing effect going on here where Mars, the very aggressive nature of Mars and that forcefulness is, I suppose with the full moon in Cancer here, there's this calming of that heat with the water element here and Cancer, and moving away from that forcefulness and being able to connect with the Cancer feeling and love. There's something here about a movement towards more stillness. So if you have been experiencing something in work that's really trying and troubling for you, this is showing a completion of those energies. If it's been an issue, there's going to be some kind of resolution that's going to be reached, and you're not having to defend your position here. It's not about or you being railroaded or you being attacked. There's a sense of attack here with the Knight of Swords. You won't have to deal with that anymore. It looks like a movement towards calmer shores, and that's going to allow you to assert your Aries I am in a manner that is, assertive for yourself but not overbearing, and it's going to aid you in initiating a new chapter of sorts. And if you've been feeling a little bit defeated with your health, if there have been issues there, there seems to be a nice completion here, a nice resolution that's been reached. And the full moon energy, and with the Cancer, that's really about a sense of nurturing. So I think you'll find that any kind of inflammation that's been happening for you, that this is going to be soothed. There's going to be this soothing of inflammation. So I suppose you can take that literally as an inflammation of the physical form in terms of health. There'll be a soothing of that. Or there can be, figuratively, a soothing of something that's been inflamed at work, some kind of aggression, some kind of forceful energy that you've been experiencing. And there's going to be a balming effect that's going to come through during this full moon in Cancer time. So look forward to that. Definite movement towards peaceful times here. All right, so let's have a look at a parting message from Spirit. Change is unavoidable. I like that, because that has actually came through. Was it the last one? I can't remember, but that has shown up before. So let's see what else we've got here. Now, I think this is about understanding that, there's a change, like with the moon, that it's cyclical, and sometimes you go through things that are not the most pleasant at times, and sometimes it's just about waiting it out. But I do see here that there is a change coming. I love the Become a Shapeshifter. That's about the Aries I am, claiming your energies, channeling it in a way that's going to be beneficial for you in whatever way that might be. So I love that. That's a very unique message that's come through. So that's lovely. All right, then, there we go. So those are the messages for those of you who do have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 6th house. So all the best to you, and I shall connect with you again in another reading. Hello and welcome to all of you who have the full moon in Cancer happening in your 7th house of partners, one-on-one relationships. That can be partners in romantic sense as well as more business, commercial terms. So why don't we go ahead and see what energies are showing up for you. Oh, Venus and love. Okay, well, that's a very romantic interpretation, romantic influence there. And water element and sensing. So that is really showing more of an emotional connection with others. So let's see what the tarot cards show us. Okay, Page of Wands. Like an initiation of something, an interest, a curiosity, inspiration. That's a passion of sorts, curiosity about something. Oh, that's interesting. That 5 of Swords has come out before. Now, okay, you've got, this looks like wanting to pass a threshold of sorts in a relationship, maybe. I'm looking at that 2 of Wands there, and I'm sensing that you're on the precipice of some kind of movement into another level of your relationship. There's a little bit of discomfort here. There's a little bit of angst here to do with it, but the Wands are flanking it. So I think there's this desire to take something forward in a relationship. I think you have contemplated quite a bit in regards to this relationship. I think it's interesting that in both these cards, the Hermit as well as in the 6 of Pentacles, they're facing the same way. And with that right hand out, I feel like You might be worried here that you're the one that's actually going to be giving more in this relationship. I think you're very much aware of that tendency of imbalance sometimes. And so in this situation with these energies that are coming through, because the full moon in Cancer and the Cancer energy, it is wanting that sense of security and that sense of nourishing others as well as being nourished by others. And I feel that this is something that you have an awareness that sometimes you have a tendency to overgive. You're just a little bit worried about that and moving to next level of intimacy and commitment. So this is about self-awareness. I think that because you do have this awareness of the Hermit here that's shining a light on this situation, I think that awareness in itself puts you in a position to be able to empower yourself when you're moving forward. Okay, so this is knowing that this is the case and ensuring that you don't make yourself vulnerable, ensuring that you hold your own in a relationship. This is, it's very much about understanding that there is a give and take when it comes to relationship, and there is a harmonious balance that can be achieved, and this is you putting things in place to ensure that that is the case. It's just natural tendencies that you have, and that's fine. I think given that the Hermit's here and there's that connection between these two cards, I think you know where it's at within yourself, and so given that's the case, it's for you to self-manage. And it says, know you belong. Oh, that's lovely. So I think Spirit's telling you that you know that you are worth a loving relationship. Venus has an understanding of value. All right. And so you have ability to be able to show up in a relationship in a way that is positive, that is empowering. And in that sense, you get to have ownership over your participation in that connection. I mean, this can, because of the presence of Venus and love there and the water element and sensing, I'm really seeing this as a love relationship, much more than a business connection. For those of you, if that is the case, then this is an awareness that you need to make sure that the give and take in a partnership of a commercial nature is going to be balanced. Understand your input into that. Make sure that you are not overgiving. Set things in place where you have those parameters met within a partnership. For the most part, I really do think that this is speaking more to the love essence of the 7th house and partners. So there you go. That is the reading for those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 7th house. I do wish you all the best moving forward, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello to those of you who have the full moon in Cancer happening in your 8th house of endings and beginnings, other people's finances. Let's see what is showing up for you. This can be about, this 8th house also speaks to sexual energies as well. So let's have a look to see what shows up. Okay, part of fortune and increase. So in an obvious way, that could be to do with receiving an increase, receiving some kind of financial injection from other sources. It could be a partner, could be insurance. Now with healing and Chiron, could be the sense of an ending of a cycle in some way. Why don't we see what further information we can get from the tarot. Oh, Wheel of Fortune, there we go. Time for a new start. Wheels of Destiny turning. You've got Knight of Wands here. You're ready for it. King of Swords. There's a truth here. An ownership of truth. Oh my goodness, the Sun, love that. Wow, there's definite energies of a new beginning here, a change of fortune, Wheel of Fortune, part of fortune, an increase in your fortune. Love that. Okay, Queen of Swords' turn, so let's just place that there, King and Queen of Swords together. Well, look at that. So for some of you, this is definitely to do with a partnership. It's definitely to do with combined resources, with the feminine and the masculine showing up here. There can be some disagreements that may have been happening between a partnership, within a partnership with Chiron and healing. And these energies would indicate here that there is a change in that dynamic and that relationship, I think. Now, I do see here for some of you with the Queen of Swords actually facing away from the King of Swords, there might be some kind of separation. So if that is the case, it is a separation that is due. You've got a movement here with the Knight of Wands. You've got the Sun card and the Wheel of Fortune that indicates that regardless of whether there is an ending here, it is one that is going to be is going to work out. There will be an overarching well-being that's been gained in this situation. And I'm seeing that very strongly because the Queen of Swords is looking away. That's really coming through very strongly. Now, for those of you, if that is not the case and you are in a stable relationship, there's some kind of combined finances here getting a bit of a reboot. There might have been some lack that was happening, but with this full moon in Cancer energy, it's igniting some kind of renewal. There is a movement here of this Wheel of Fortune, and there is an increase of finances into this partnership, which will result in a movement forward in creation. And the Sun card here giving or overlooking this experience, bringing light to the situation, harmony to the situation. And with the Chiron there too, it's not been an easy experience. And it's interesting, it's the 8th house, and then you've got Chiron and healing, and that's showing the number 8 as well. So it's a bit of a mixture here, I can see. For some of you, there is a definite parting of ways with regards to a partnership. There is going to be a division of assets, and then for both parties it's going to be okay. You've got the Wheel of Fortune and part of fortune and increase. There's enough to go around. With the Sun card, that does ensure harmonious energies in the mix as well. So see how these cards and my interpretations can be applied to your situation, but that's what we are seeing here. So why don't we have a look? Hopefully that makes sense for you all. Apply whatever resonates, and of course, if it doesn't resonate, then just leave it. The message is not for you then. But why don't we see what parting message? Oh wow, let two become one. That is really pointing to a partnership that is getting a bit of a reboot. That reboot and harmonies, creating some kind of recommitment in a partnership. I also see for the situation where there is a separation, that is a literal let two become one, whether it's this, where one here or one here. So that's a separation of two to become individuals and of themselves. So it's certainly offering support to either situation. The energies are going to be resonant and relevant for each of these situations and will provide what is necessary to all parties involved in order to have that personal sense of resolution, a sense of security. That is the reading I have for you, for those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in the 8th house. I do wish you all the best, and I look forward to being able to connect with you again in another reading. Hello and welcome to all of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in the ninth house. The ninth house, it says faith there, so we're looking at matters dealing with higher learning, with belief systems. It can also be to do with travel. So why don't we go ahead and select some more astrology cards and see what further energies are showing up for you. Oh, Neptune, sacrifice, okay. Sagittarius, I see. Well, that's interesting because in the natural zodiacal order, Sagittarius is the sign of the ninth house. Perfect energies that are in sync there. So why don't we go ahead and see what tarot cards we have. And the messages. Well, the devil's showing up, so why don't we put that there? Page of Swords has come through. Nine of Cups. Eight of Swords. Oh, and the Death. Okay, so it does look like with these energies here at the moment, there is a sense of wanting to be freed from something. You've got the Devil here showing up, which is giving me a sense of you feeling bound, constricted. It's like these chains here are presenting in a way that is burdensome for you. Now, you have a sense of curiosity. You want a sense of freedom, I think, with this Page of Swords. You can see the Page of Swords is on the top of that mountaintop and is looking very carefree. You know, the hair is loosely bound. There's this sense of freedom. And the ninth house in Sagittarius does have that essence of freedom. Now, with the Neptune and sacrifice and the Eight of Swords, and it's very interesting that the Eight of Swords has that energy of the devil where there is a sense of being bound. But in reality, you're not bound. This is just a perception of being bound, a false perception. Because you can see here that these binds are very loose and you can free yourself from them very easily. With the devil here, these chains around these people's necks are very loose also, and you can see that they can be easily removed. So there is the sense of needing to be more clear with how you are perceiving a situation, and that's very much about how the Neptune energy has an influence in this situation, where it makes things less clear, it makes things more nebulous, it kind of influences the situation by making it more confusing. But I do see here that with the very strong ninth house energies of Sagittarius coming through, there is a belief that you have that you need to be clearer about. I can see here that with the Nine of Cups, there's a self-satisfaction here. I feel that this is about holding true to what it is that you find joy in. But it's an enjoyment that has come from applying yourself to something. There is a sense of a fulfillment here, but I really see in this sense that it's more about how you apply yourself and the sense of self-satisfaction that comes from that. I don't think this is so much about a wish fulfillment as such. I really do think this is something that you are creating for yourself. It's about ridding yourself of these self-restrictions that you have here, clearing your perceptions. This freedom that you're searching here is yours to have. That sword is available for you to cut away any kind of falsities. Now with the Death card, this is talking about an ending to this the sense of self-limitation, the sense of restriction, the inability to perceive clearly. I really do see with this death card here, this is showing that there's an ending to this energy and this energy here with the Neptune and sacrifice. And so you can move forward with this curiosity of the Page of Swords, with this joy in the Nine of Cups. Provide that self-satisfaction for yourself. There's a sense of hope, which I love, since the 9th house of faith. It's interesting because even though there's this nebulous element with the Neptune, making things a little bit confusing, with this Sagittarius, and I see, it really shows me, you know, that this energy of restriction, old habits even, and Sagittarius, because it's ruled by Jupiter, that can lead to an excess of something. And so this influence of excessive energies that can be destructive, that also is a factor here, but there's an understanding that that's certainly not going to help you moving forward now. So this is about freeing yourself from that confusion that Neptune is pushing in your way there. So I think this is really showing that with the full moon in Cancer, this is going to bring about emotions that are more healthy. And so that's an end to these two kind of influences, and the Neptune and sacrifice, that it's like sacrificing the better part of your life for something that's, you know, it's not benefiting you at all. So we don't want that. Okay, let's see, what's this one? See the truth. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. What a perfectly synchronistic message. See the truth. Sagittarius says, I see. As I was saying, that really does say it all. Spirit is encouraging you to see the truth of a situation, clear away the nebulous aspect of Neptune, the confusion, and focus those energies on something that is going to be more positively nurturing for yourself, and begin again, begin anew with a sense of freedom to create. Wow, and have faith that that's going to work out perfectly. All right then, so there you go. Those are the messages that have come through for all of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 9th house. So I do wish you all the best, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 10th house. So the 10th house is representative of how you are seen in the world. It can be to do with career, but it's more to do with the mark that you make out in the wider world, the wider public arena. So why don't we go ahead and see what kind of energies are here. Oh, Jupiter and abundance, love that. So for some of you it can be to do with work, public standing. Okay, so all right, so we've got two cards that have come out, which is interesting because these are essentially energies that are speak to each other. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. It says Scorpio, I transform, and Pluto, transformation. There is a sense of doing something out in the world that is very transformative to your potential experience of abundance. It can be something that there's some kind of culmination in something that has quite the impact. Okay, let's see what tarot cards are here for you. You've got Two of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Five of Pentacles, oh, the Fool, a new beginning here, love that. Oh, Ace of Pentacles, new beginning in abundance and finance. So that's really showing very much this Jupiter in abundance. Now you've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool on either side of the reading. So these are cards pointing to a new beginning, which is very much in line with this transformative energy here of Pluto, as well as that sense of a rebirth here with Scorpio and I transform. So there may have been some kind of stalemate when it's come to your public standing, anything that you've been wanting to develop in the world, create. If it's not career, it's something you're wanting to launch out into the world. And you may have found that things weren't going too well. You can see here with the Five of Pentacles, there is a loss, feeling like things are not going well. And you may have been trying to keep things afloat for some time here with the Two of Pentacles. I see here that you are trying to keep things going, trying to juggle things in a way that is going to keep you afloat for longer. But it seems like you've been really at your wits' end and near the end of your tether here with the Five of Pentacles. But there's something here with this full moon energy that is going to shift something. There's a change of perspective here. Now, I'm not quite sure what that might be about, but there might be some kind of revision happening here. There's something that is going to be changed with your perspective. There's a transformative energy here. And with this new lease, this new look on the issue, it's bringing in a new start. And the new start is showing here with the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool. Now, the new start, this is like an energetic start. It's like this change of perspective is showing me an energetic shift. Okay, so that's a beginning of an energetic nature. But this Ace of Pentacles is actually showing me a new beginning in something more tangible, in a physical nature, especially with the Jupiter in abundance there. So I see that there's this change that's going to be twofold, and I love that you've got the Two of Pentacles. There's an indication of that twofold nature that's happening. So there is a shift in perspective that gives that transforms the energy around the situation. And then you do have an injection of some kind of financial input. And with a Scorpio, given that their natural zodiacal order sees that Scorpio is in your 8th house, even though I know this is to do with 10th house, but with Scorpio there, it could be that you are being given some kind of financial support, outside financial support that assists you in continuing with the progress of what it is that you're trying to launch out into the world, I think, here. And all in all, there is this overarching kind of well-being, of abundance, of things moving along now. There's a sense of success here too. Oh, that's fabulous. There's some kind of assistance that's coming in for you. Oh, I love that. So once again, personal issue reaches resolution. There's some kind of resolution that's been gained here in this situation. All right then, so let's see Spirit's message. You were born to create. Oh my gosh, don't you love that? That's fabulous. You've really done well to keep things afloat. You've trusted in your inspiration, whatever it is that you're wanting to put out there. You had a sense of its worth, and you've tried hard to hold the faith in that and to keep going. And so, yeah, it's been a difficult journey, but I do see here that Spirit's message to you is that your creative contribution to whatever it is that you are actually putting out into the world was yours to begin with. It was yours to have, regardless of this journey of difficulties. And so you're coming into a time where the actual fruition of this creation being launched into the world is yes, it is nigh, it is near. So this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Oh, fantastic. Love that. So there you go. Those of you who have this full moon in Cancer happening in your 10th house, these are the messages that have come through for you today. I do hope that it's beneficial, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to all of you who have this full moon in Cancer occurring in your 11th house. So 11th house of friends, wider communities, wider groups, social networks. That is what that's representing. In some ways it can be wish fulfillment as well, dreams coming true, but we'll see what shows up. Let's choose some more cards. Oh, Sun and Spirit, love that. Very positive energies there. Oh, Aries, I am. So that's a very initiating kind of energy. Bold. Taking ownership of something. Let's see. So why don't we get some tarot cards? Lots of fire energy here with Sun and Aries. Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords. Page of Swords, lots of swords here. Page of Cups. Okay, Three of Wands. All right, so it does seem like there's some kind of miscommunications going on when it comes to wider network, your groups, your friendships, networking groups. There's misplaced energy with thoughts and communication here. I do see the Queen of Swords showing clarity. There is some kind of clear judgment that's been shown. And it could be an energy to do with younger or more youthful energy is coming through that might be a little bit more reckless in a situation. And that could be creating some kind of dissension there. But I do see that the situation is well handled. With the Queen of Swords here, it's like a judicial kind of passing on something. There's judgment being given, the truth being spoken. And so whatever this dissension is, it's not going to continue to be an issue. I think there's an asserting requirement here of the Aries I am. There might be a sense of you needing to step into your power more. That is coming through with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords does have a very I am presence, understands her own authority. And so I do feel that you'll be able to embody that energy in order to deal with whatever situation this is. And this expansion here with the Three of Wands, I think this kind of issue might be to do with a growing of a group. There could be this expansion that's happening within your circle of friends. There might be more people coming into the mix, and then this is where there might be this inability to integrate harmoniously these new energies. And with the two pages showing here with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups, there might be new interests that are wanting to be expressed in a group. There could be this kind of a new blood situation where with this influx of newcomers into the mix, there's just this period where it takes a bit to kind of iron out the kinks in terms of people understanding how they fit in with the group. And I think there might be some of that happening here, because you can see with this expansion card that it's just an indication of a growth period when it comes to your social circles, or to do with an online community or some kind of community that you are participating within. And even the Aries I am, that's everyone trying to assert their I am in a way that sometimes not all parties are heard. And so I think for yourself, I see you as the Queen of Swords in this situation. I think this is where you take ownership over your own communication articulate yourself in a way that sets an example for others. I think that's the best thing you can do in this situation. If this is the case where lots of newcomers kind of causing a bit of havoc in the mix, I think this is about understanding your authority within yourself and setting an example for others to follow. I think this is really what's showing here. Because with the Queen of Swords, you're the one that's got the experience here, a guiding kind of influence to this Page of Cups and the Page of Swords here, who might be more inclined to do things their own way, I think, in this situation. The input that's been contributed is not benefiting the whole at this stage. So yeah, this is asking you to set the example, illuminate the situation with your understanding, your knowledge, that sun spirit there. Okay, and I think it's just part and parcel of what happens when there's an expansion to the group and a group dynamic. All right, okay then, so there we go. That is what, no, that is not it, because I need to pull a spirit card. Last message from Spirit. Let's see. We are all connected. Oh my goodness, how amazing. That is very synchronistic. So this is talking about the group dynamic, and it's knowing that as much as we are individuals, when it comes to friends and this house of associations, we're all seeking that kind of connection, that harmonious connection with others. And it's about being able to honor others as well as having yourself honored too. So very 11th house vibes there. So those are the messages that have come through for those of you who have the full moon in Cancer happening in the 11th house. I do wish you all the best. Take care, and I shall connect with you again very soon. Hi, and welcome to those of you who have this full moon in Cancer occurring in your 12th house. It says here 12th house and escape. So the energies of the 12th house can be very much ones of, well, it can be like a retreat. There are hidden spaces. It's being removed from the public. An example of that would be like hospitals, prisons even. So let's see. Oh, Sun Spirit, that came out in the 11th house. So that's interesting. That's great. Let's see what other kind of energetic influences showing up for you. Oh, Pluto and transformation. I'm liking that Sun Spirit is number 1, Pluto transformation is 11. So you're talking repeating ones there. Lovely. Love that vibe. Okay, so we are going to be looking at what messages Tarot can bring through. I'm going to put King of Cups there. That is showing some kind of emotional maturity. Oh, the Fool. The Fool is showing up in a few of the houses, so that's fantastic. It means that this full moon energy in Cancer is really kick-starting a new cycle for people, and which is great here because 10 of Swords, you've obviously been through a lot. It's very transformative time, and I love that Pluto transformation. The 10 of Swords here, the 9 of Wands, you've really had to go through a lot, but it's the kind of experience that has created a pressure cooker for transformation even. A Knight of Wands. So new beginnings, new movement forward, new inspirations, new passions here with this Knight of Wands. And you're doing it in such a way where you are much more in your own power, your emotional power. You have been through your fair share of tumultuous energies. You have persevered. And now is the time where that culmination of experiences is leading you to a new beginning. With the Fool card here, I love the Sun Spirit coming up as the 1. So this is like a progressive energy of beginnings, and it's showing you in your own emotional power. And you may have had to experience a lot of these challenges in ways that were not always visible to others. This is about your own inner transformation that you've had to go through. And sure, you've had to participate in experiences that involved others. But I think this is really showing that a lot, especially with the 12th house energy here, a lot of what you've had to go through has not been things that others have been privy to. This has certainly been something that has been very internal in nature for you, something, a transformation, a change that has not been known to a majority of those around you, I don't think. I think you've kept things quite hidden and under wraps. This transformation that's happening, this ownership of your emotional sovereignty here, wow, you've done amazing. Congratulations. But I see you ready to move forward now. There is certainly an enthusiasm about this Knight of Wands. You know, you've got this very calming influence with the King of Cups, which is definitely you, but I see you encompassing, embodying this Knight of Wands energy as well, where you are ready to get back out there after all of what you've gone through and really experience your life in a different way because of what you've had to go through in these energies in the 12th house. But you know, this has been the formation, it's been the strengthening of your spirit here with the Sun Spirit. That's what that's showing me. All of this accumulated experience has really brought you up and out from these depths of, oh my goodness, these 12th house energies of behind closed doors. You've not allowed yourself to be in the forefront, but now it seems like you're wanting to take yourself out there now. You're wanting to embody that brightness of the sun. Okay, and you're wanting to show up in a different way. And the Knight of Wands, that energy is really showing me that you are ready to move forward in that new energy there. And oh my goodness, that's so wonderful. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, now is the time. New beginnings for sure, new start. Oh, I love that. Okay, so why don't we see what message Spirit has to share with you. Here are the Ancient Ones. Oh, that is a deep connection. There is this understanding now that you are, oh my goodness, it's like you're more than what you have ever known yourself to be here. This is a connection to an old way, an old world, an old essence within yourself that maybe you've tapped into during this time of regeneration here with the Pluto transformation, transformative energy that's been happening behind the scenes. This is quite profound. It just feels profound. Well, all right then. So those are the messages for those of you who have this full moon in Cancer occurring in the 12th house. I do wish you all the best. Please consider liking, sharing and subscribing if you have found this of benefit to you. And I look forward to connecting with you again in another reading.